So remember that time I said I was going to write a book in 30 days? Hey friends, this is Courtney and welcome to the Incessant Bookworm. If you haven't already done so, please go check out my book loft tour. This is where I go through the bookstore up in Columbus, Ohio and give you some sneak peeks of what you can expect, and also just showing you what my favorite books are when I go book shopping and what I look for. So feel free to check that out. Also, please head over to my Twitter and my Bookstagram accounts and check those out since I post some extra bookish content you won't find here. All right, so many moons ago, I made a plan to write 50,000 words in 30 days. Like all good intentions, things might not go to plan, and that's what has happened to me and probably so many other writers out there during this National Novel Writing Month. So for my first vlog, I think that was about a week and a half into the experience of November, I was doing pretty well. I was hitting my marks every once in a while, but I was on progress to reach the goal, and I hit 10,000 feeling good, moved along, hit 20,000 feeling great, and then I got sick. So now I don't want to be the person that makes excuses. I know I can push through, I know I can prioritize and do better and find the time and motivation. I just know also I need to listen to my body and my mind during those times. So the first time, so get this, there's two times. The first time I got sick this month was right before my birthday. So I actually had to cancel my trip to Denver because I had to get a COVID test because I wasn't feeling so great. So I had a headache, I didn't have a fever, and I had a little bit of sore throat. So my mind was kind of not in a space to write, even though that would have been a good distraction. I just couldn't get myself to write that much. And then a day or so later after the test, found out I was negative, happy as a clam, ready to dive back in, which was great. So then I had my birthday on the 16th, which I took a day off. It was a Monday, so I took off of work and wrote about 3,500 words, and again was on track to finish by November 30th. And then my body started feeling run down and exhausted. I started going to bed earlier and earlier, and like wanting to get up early and go for walks and clear my mind and do workouts and stuff like that. But my body again was not having it. So then checked my temperature again late in the week and had a 99.7 degree Fahrenheit temperature, which constitutes a fever or a low-grade fever. And then also had body aches, fatigue, headache again, but this one was out of control, like very pressing on my temples, bad of a headache, and was just exhausted. So today, as you're watching this, I'm probably on my way to get tested again because everywhere that I looked was scheduled already, or people had already signed up to get their test done, which is great. Like, do so even if you aren't symptomatic. Feel free to go do so before the holidays, before you interact with other people. So I understand why all these places were busy. It was just frustrating because I knew I just wanted to get it done and figure out what was going on with me, which I kind of knew what was going on. So all that to say is that writing went out the window for me because of just being scared, being anxious, stressed, not feeling well, very hard for me to stare at a screen. Like I had to log off work early. And I told my coworkers that I wasn't feeling well. I just couldn't look at the screen. I think you can probably hear me now. I'm kind of nasally, so still not feeling great. So not where I wanted to be with the National Novel Writing Month. So that's fine. And that's something that I just need to accept because I just need to remember, and a lot of people say this during National Novel Writing Month, it is about writing. It's not necessarily getting to that 50,000 mark. That is a goal. It was going to be my goal, but I have to be more realistic with everything that's going on. Like, I don't want to rush through those words and try to get, at this point, I forgot to mention, I'm at 25,000. So I'm at the halfway point, which is great, but I don't want to try to bang out 25,000 words in less than 2 weeks, week and a half at this point. So that just didn't seem realistic, didn't seem like something I wanted to sacrifice my physical, mental health on. But know that the story is very much alive Like I mentioned in my previous vlog, it is a mashup of You've Got Mail and the Great British Baking Show in Boston. So the main character is a female, so I guess I can give you some more insight into it since I have written 25,000 words of it. So she loses her job, the main character, and she needs to scramble to get some money together. She is in a one-bedroom, or I guess a studio apartment, not really knowing what to do with her life. She kind of failed out of grad school, or left grad school for writing because she wasn't getting any bites anywhere, wasn't believing in herself, wasn't confident, and kind of took menial jobs here and there. And then while listening to one of her favorite podcasts, it's a writing or writers podcast, they mentioned a competition in Boston that's brand new, and it's basically like the Great British Bake Off. Where a competitor gets kicked out, or not voted off, or eliminated each week, and there's challenges every week for them to compete in. So writing is a little bit different than baking when it comes to a competition, so I had to change things up in there to make it more appealing to the reader of the story, those in the fictional world watching this competition. So there's some changes there with the types of challenges that they would be doing for writing and things that might be enjoyable for people to watch. And along the way, she bumps into people that she hasn't seen in a while, or who she's only seen in instance outside of the writing world, or outside of what she's used to. And then, yeah, so it's interesting. The beginning is pretty well done, or I guess finished in my mind, in terms of what I wanted to happen. And then the end is looking pretty strong as well. The middle, there's some parts here and there that I have nailed down, but it's the writing of the competitions themselves that I'm struggling with, because the way that I had framed it, it was a rather lengthy amount of time for these challenges to be taking place. So I feel like I need to come up with different challenges every time. So I might have to go back and cut those down a bit. But I like how the main character, she's progressing, and the way that she's challenging herself and trying to get better each week. So she joins different groups, she joins online groups, goes to in-person kind of experiences and how-tos to fine-tune her craft, and starts believing in herself again. She gets mysterious packages along the way, and some other fun little outings, I guess some scandals in there with her and her parents, and some folks that she's known in her past. So I feel like it has a lot of good elements, and a little bit of romance. Sorry, I had to throw that in there too, speaking of You've Got Mail. So yeah, I'm like super proud of what I've come up with so far. And I know this is at a stage where I'm not ready to share it with a publisher, agent, whatever. So I have like filler words right now, so the names of people I don't know yet. So there's a character I just said boyfriend because I didn't come up with the name yet, and girlfriend in terms of one of her gal pals. So I haven't come up with that yet. I need to come up with different names of challenges. I have, in the show Great British Bake Off, they say on your market set bake, so I have on your market set write, which I'm like, I don't know if I like that. And then instead of star baker, I have star writer, so I need to change things so it's not completely obvious that I'm ripping off of, well, isn't that a good sense of flattery? I think I said this before in one of my other episodes. I don't remember the cliche itself, but imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. Is that the right term? But when it comes to copyright, that's not necessarily the case. So I also looked at You've Got Mail to get some inspiration from there. Some of those quotes are in there right now that I'll change out, but I like the feel of. So yeah, I'm excited. Even talking about it, I'm getting excited about it, but in those last few days, as I was getting sick, I just couldn't find the motivation for it, and that made me sad. But I do still consider myself a writer. It's funny just thinking about, I wrote 25,000 words in those 2.5-ish weeks, but when I think about blogging, I write so much for that. I'd be interested to see out of the blog posts that I've written, what that comes to in terms of word count or page count. Because I think that's just a different form of writing. It's still, I think, creative writing in that regard too. It's just not necessarily a novel. So what was going to be 4, maybe 3 vlogs during this month that were writing specific is probably just going to be 2. I think I had more writing vlogs before the month started in terms of like preparation and stuff. So like I mentioned, the story is alive. I believe in the story, believe in the characters. I will pick it up again. But like I was saying, my health is just way too important that I need to focus on that. And it was weird. I picked up a book the other day, and I have been reading through this whole month while I've been writing. Like every time I meet a writing goal, like then I can pick up a book, or I listen to audiobooks all the time, so that doesn't really cut into the reading as much as reading a physical book would do. But yeah, when I was able to actually like sit down with the book and not feel stressed about writing, it felt amazing. Even though I hadn't written anything that day or the day before, it just felt good to get back into the swing of things. So I think that was one thing I was looking forward to as I started the journey for writing, was to get back to my books. So I guess that speaks to kind of like where my head is at and where my motivation is for writing. It's not the first thing I want to be doing. It is a part of what I want, but I still think reading and gaining experiences through that, through my book blogging and book reviews, and just learning about the craft through reading, is what's going to help me with that in the long run. So that is the update as it comes to National Novel Writing Month. Like I mentioned, it's still happening. I could still be writing. I just know I won't reach 50,000 words, and I'm okay with that. So thank you so much for watching this vlog. I hope you enjoyed it. If you like it, please give it a thumbs up or comment down below if you are participating in National Novel Writing Month, where you're at with this journey. If you are winning or you're falling a little bit behind like me, whatever you're at, just feel free to share and just own it, and just believe that you are a writer in that regard. So thank you so much again. If you'd like to support me further, I do have my wish list and my coffee page listed below, so feel free to support me through those links, and subscribe or send this video or others like it to friends that you think would like this channel. So I hope you have a great day. Happy reading, writing, whatever it is you need to do to take care of your mental and physical health, and I will see you later.